Most drivers have no clue that ignoring this hidden turbo setting is quietly robbing them of power, and it could be costing you $2,000 in wasted fuel, or up to $7,000 if it leads to a full turbo failure. But here's the twist: unlocking that power doesn't cost a dime. So stick around till the end, because if you skip this video you'll miss 9 free turbo hacks that instantly wake up your engine, with 0 tools, 0 parts and 0 mechanics needed. And in just a few seconds, I'll reveal the #1 hidden trick car companies quietly bury in your ECU, because it makes their performance packages completely useless. Let's dive in. Step 1. Free up your air intake. No aftermarket mods needed. Manufacturers install baffled and narrow air intake pathways, not to boost performance, but to reduce engine noise and comply with strict emissions regulations. These so-called air silencers and resonator chambers create a smoother, quieter ride for the average driver, but they come at a cost. They slow down incoming air, restrict throttle response, and mute your engine's natural performance potential. But here's the good news: you don't need an expensive cold air intake system to fix this. You just need to open up what's already under your hood. Start by popping the hood and locating your air filter box. It's typically a large black plastic box with a tube running to the throttle body or turbo inlet. Open it and take a close look. You'll often find extra plastic dividers, sound baffles, or long curved snorkels that force air to follow a twisted, inefficient path. These components aren't there for power. They're there to meet noise standards and create a quieter cabin experience, at the expense of performance. With basic tools, a screwdriver, utility knife, or compact saw, you can carefully cut or remove these plastic barriers. You're not deleting the airbox entirely, which can trigger codes or reduce filtration. You're just streamlining airflow so the engine gets a more direct, efficient path for incoming air. Once done, most drivers notice an immediate difference: sharper throttle response, quicker turbo spool, and a throatier intake growl under acceleration. Some even report up to 10 to 20% improved throttle sensitivity, especially in vehicles with drive-by-wire systems that rely on airflow signals. And here's a bonus: many intake tubes also include a resonator chamber, a hollow box attached to the tubing that cancels sound waves. Removing or bypassing that chamber can significantly increase airflow velocity and reduce lag. It's simple physics: less turbulence, more oxygen, better combustion. Best of all, you don't need to spend a single dollar. It's free performance hiding in plain sight. Step 2. Optimize exhaust flow without breaking the law. No, we're not asking you to gut your catalytic converters. But many modern cars have a pre-cat close to the exhaust manifold. It lights off emissions faster, but also chokes the engine. You can improve exhaust flow by carefully drilling small relief holes into this honeycomb structure. It keeps most of the emissions functionality while allowing gases to flow faster under load. Your muffler is another hidden bottleneck. Packed with chambers and baffles, it's built for silence, not speed. With a long drill bit, you can strategically vent small holes in the baffle plates. The goal isn't to make your car loud, it's to let spent gases escape faster and reduce back pressure. When combined with the intake mod, this creates a smoother breathing engine. You'll notice crisper throttle response, stronger mid-range torque, and a more satisfying exhaust tone, all still legal and safe. Bonus tip: if your car has a resonator, a chamber that smooths sound waves, removing or bypassing it can unlock a few extra horsepower and a throatier sound. Also, inspect your flex pipe or mid-pipe connection. If it's rusted or damaged, you're losing power through leaks. A fresh gasket or clamp replacement can quietly recover missing power. Step 3. Tap into ECU settings with $0 software. Here's where things get spicy. Your car's ECU, engine control unit, is the brain of your engine, managing everything from how much fuel gets injected to how much boost your turbo is allowed to make. But what most drivers don't realize is, manufacturers deliberately hold back power to meet emissions laws, preserve fuel economy, and create artificial performance gaps between different trim levels. In other words, your engine could be doing a lot more, but it's locked down by software. With just a cheap OBD2 cable and free tuning software like Toad, Tuner Pro, RomRaider, or OpenECU, you can tap into these hidden settings. Simply plug into the OBD2 port under your dash, usually near the driver's footwell, install the software and load your ECU file. Now you're inside the control room. From here you can access and modify key performance parameters such as boost pressure targets, fuel maps, ignition timing curves, throttle response settings, torque limiters and rev cutoffs. One popular and safe trick is to slightly advance ignition timing, around 2 to 4 degrees, which ignites the fuel-air mixture sooner and boosts torque, especially in the low to mid-range. Another easy win is raising the boost pressure limit to unlock the full potential of your factory turbo. Most turbos are underutilized from the factory, running at conservative levels far below their safe mechanical limits. Even better? These changes are completely reversible. Always save a backup of your stock ECU file before making any edits. That way you can flash it back anytime, whether something doesn't feel right or you're taking your car in for service. You can also modify temperature correction tables. These control how much boost is pulled when intake air temps get too high, especially in hot climates. Raising those thresholds can help your car maintain power in real-world driving conditions. Bottom line? A few smart tweaks to your ECU settings can unlock 10 to 30 horsepower instantly. No parts, no mechanic, and no money spent. Just knowledge, a laptop, and 30 minutes of your time. Step 4. Unleash your transmission's hidden potential. Automatic transmissions are heavily detuned for comfort. The ECU tells them to shift early, avoid high RPMs, and prioritize fuel economy. Using your OBD tool and software, you can raise shift points by 500 to 1000 RPM, keeping your engine in its power band longer. You can also firm up shifts and reduce torque management delays, making acceleration feel snappier and more direct. For example, many EcoBoost Fords and turbocharged Hyundais run sluggish until the shift tables are adjusted. Once tweaked, they drive like a completely different vehicle, punchier, faster, and more engaging. Manual cars also have ECU limitations, like artificial rev hang or throttle dampening. Disabling these lets the engine respond naturally, giving you cleaner heel-toe downshifts and better clutch feel. Even paddle shifters can behave better, once latency is reduced in the TCU settings. That makes downshifts more instant and satisfying, especially in spirited driving. Still with me? Good, because now we're getting into the heart of your engine, your fuel system. Step 5. Clean and calibrate your fuel delivery system. Over time, your injectors clog up even if you use premium gas. Most drivers never touch them until there's a misfire or hesitation. But a clean fuel system equals better atomization, smoother combustion, and more power. Remove the fuel rail, usually 2 to 3 bolts, extract the injectors, and soak them in an ultrasonic cleaner with a solution of acetone and seafoam. You'll be amazed what comes out. While you're in there, check your fuel pressure regulator. Some models have adjustable spring tension, allowing you to bump pressure slightly. This gives more fuel at high load, especially useful on turbo cars running extra boost. You can also replace the fuel filter if it hasn't been touched in years. A partially clogged filter can silently reduce horsepower by restricting flow under acceleration. And for high-mileage cars, consider doing a throttle body cleaning while you're at it. Carbon buildup here can throw off idle control and air-fuel mixtures. Step 6. Maximize ignition efficiency. Spark isn't just about lighting fuel, it's about lighting it fast and fully. Factory ignition systems are built for 87-octane fuel and mass-market reliability. That leaves performance on the table. Step 1. Gap your spark plugs tighter or looser, depending on your coil strength. A 0.030 to 0.035 inch gap is ideal for high boost applications. Step 2. Upgrade your ignition coils or use a higher dwell time setting in your ECU, if supported. For older engines with distributors, a simple advance of 2 to 5 degrees can make the car feel like it gained 10 horsepower overnight, without hurting reliability. These changes result in a more complete burn, stronger acceleration, and sometimes even better MPG. Also, monitor knock sensor readings via OBD software. If your engine is pulling timing under boost, try higher octane fuel or colder plugs. This helps reclaim lost power safely. Step 7. Cooling system, the overlooked power robber. Engines make more power when they run cooler, to a point. Factory thermostats often open at 195 degrees Fahrenheit, but performance builds thrive around 170 to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Install a lower temp thermostat, cheap and easy, to prevent timing pull under load. Heat soak, especially in turbo engines, robs power fast. You can also add heat shielding to intake components and reroute coolant lines that heat the throttle body, common on Japanese cars. Another tip: bypass restrictive heater core flow valves or remove unnecessary bypass hoses that restrict coolant flow through the block. Also, upgrade your radiator cap to a higher pressure unit. It raises the boiling point and prevents overheating when driving hard, crucial for turbo reliability. And finally, check your fan settings. With tuning software, you can trigger cooling fans to come on earlier, reducing intake temps during heavy traffic or warm-up laps. Step 8. Suspension and tire optimization for power transfer. All the power in the world means nothing if it doesn't reach the pavement. Factory suspension setups prioritize comfort, soft springs, squishy bushings, and conservative alignment. Check your tire pressures. Even bumping from 32 to 36 psi can reduce drag and improve response. Then, get a performance alignment. Add 1 to 2 degrees of negative camber and slightly toe out the front wheels for sharper turn-in. You can also swap to stiffer sway bar bushings or cut your bump stops slightly to prevent bottoming under load. These tweaks make your car feel tighter and more agile, crucial when cornering with added horsepower. Even switching from all-season to summer tires can feel like a 20 horsepower gain. Grip equals acceleration. Step 9. Weight reduction. Free gains hiding in plain sight. Every 100 pounds removed equals roughly 0.1 seconds faster in the quarter mile. You'd be surprised how much junk your car carries. Empty the trunk. Remove unused rear seats if you rarely carry passengers. Ditch floor mats, spare tire kits, and redundant plastic trim panels. Some people even remove the engine cover for better cooling and weight savings. Bonus: lighter cars handle better, stop faster, and place less strain on your turbo and brakes. Even switching to a lightweight battery can shave 20 to 30 pounds off the nose of the car, improving balance. Step 10. System integration, where the magic happens. Here's the final piece. No mod works in isolation. Real performance comes from the synergy between intake, exhaust, fueling, timing, and cooling, all working together. Once you've completed the steps, test the car under different conditions: city, highway, uphill. Note how the throttle responds. Does it pull harder in mid-RPM? Does it feel smoother above 4,000 RPM? Something feels off, adjust. So yes, car companies may not want you to know these tricks. But now you do. It doesn't take a shop. It doesn't take $2,000 in parts. Just knowledge, a bit of patience, and the willingness to unlock the full potential that's already under your hood. After introducing the turbo hack that car companies hate, which one fixed it for you? Drop a comment below. What problem was your car dealing with and which trick brought it back to life?